Hello, welcome. I'm Bert Turner, a pastor at Covenant Grace Church. Glad you could join us for our pastor update. So grateful to the folks at Stan Hewitt Hall for opening up their gardens for us. Been longing to come in here. I love this particular spot here where there's these birch trees or whatever that make this lovely walk here. I've been longing to come here when it is springtime and the leaves have budded. It's just a gorgeous place, and it reminds me of a tunnel, and I just love coming down here. And we think about a tunnel, often we think about tunnels, but not necessarily good thoughts. There's that idea of a tunnel, which is like the light at the end of the tunnel. And that tunnel we think about probably a dark place, maybe deep underground. Maybe you're trapped, maybe you're trying to get out, and maybe you're afraid there's going to be a cave-in, and so it's not a very enjoyable thought to be in that kind of tunnel. Well, maybe that's a little bit how we feel now as we're going through this pandemic. We feel a little bit like we're trapped, like we're cut off, like things are closing in around us. You may feel like it's dangerous to go outside. You may feel trapped inside, and that's certainly not pleasant. Well, Jesus, when he was on earth, he had his tunnel he walked through. He walked through it not for freedom, but for joy. Here's what Hebrews chapter 12 says, verses 1 through 3. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary or faint-hearted. Jesus walked through the tunnel of life, looking not for freedom, but joy at the end. The joy was the redemption of the earth. The joy was redeeming sons and daughters to himself. And so when we walk through this tunnel, which certainly has its scary aspects, we can also realize there are, blessed aspects as well. God's going to use this for our good and for his glory. And maybe we can think about, instead of walls closing in around us or a tunnel, like maybe the great cloud of witnesses, like these trees that shadow over this path. Those people in generations past who have suffered and died and gone through difficulty and survived and given God glory and been victorious, maybe not in this life, but ultimately, and they're seated now with Christ, or they're with Christ, and they're looking on as we run this race in this season of difficulty we've been called to do it in a way that glorifies him. So, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is the joy of having obeyed Christ and loved Christ and known Christ, and it's Christ himself. Not only is he at the end of the tunnel, he is in the tunnel with us. So be encouraged. God is with you. God is in these circumstances, and he will redeem them for his glory and for our good. Well, hope you can join us Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. If you're not familiar with Covenant Grace Church, every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. we have a live stream service. You can join us. Just go to our website, cogc.org, and you can find a link to go and watch that with us. Be blessed, be safe. Covenant Grace Church family, I love you, I miss you. Look forward to seeing you again. God bless.